Okay, so it took me a while to get motivated to do this, right? So I'm sorry for that. So you know the drill, guys. Just wait a few seconds and we'll jump into it. But I just gotta, get links sent out and post it and see if anybody wants to come join us for this chat. So, give me a few moments. Okay. Hey, Becky, how are you? Randy there. Share it to the good old Facebook. Hi, Mr. Greedy. Thanks for coming back, guys. One more. Slam it onto that there Twitter. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. So, hi everyone. So tonight is kind of gonna be chill. I apologize for my face. I look a little rough, but it happens. I'm in my fall sweater because it's starting to feel like the fall outside, which makes me super happy because while I love sweating in the hot heat, I certainly adore sweaters and sweater weather. So, I'm excited about that. It's 3/4 sleeve, so it's not like a full-on sweater. It does the job, though. So, what I was thinking of talking about tonight is the Mandela Effect. Someone had suggested that I speak about the Mandela Effect a little bit because it's a good topic. It kind of ties into what we've been talking about the last few weeks, what with conspiracy theories and all that kind of sort of thing. So I thought, sure, why not? Like, because I was running, honestly, I was like, I don't know what to talk about. My allergies have been, as you know, they're always crazy, but they've been a little rough, so. And to be honest, I haven't been working on any new songs or practicing this week, which really makes me sad, but it's just been one of those weeks, just not as much motivation for things. So, they suggested I talk about the Mandela Effect, so here we are. And so let's get started. What is the Mandela Effect? For those of you that don't know, I figured I'd just give like a little description. I feel like a lot of people are very aware and becoming more aware of the idea of the Mandela Effect. It's a very popular topic online. Everybody talks about it. You got some peoples who are believers, but then there are other people who just think it's like, just kind of like a group getting together and being crazy. Sorry, I got something in my eyeball. So, what is the Mandela Effect? I just found an article online just to read you like the first line to tell you what the Mandela Effect is. It's on whatis.techtarget.com. I don't know. But anyway, the Mandela Effect is an observed phenomenon in which a large segment of the population misremembers a significant event or shares a memory of an event that did not actually occur. So basically, it's like a bunch of people have this idea that something happened, but then they find out later, like in reality, like it didn't happen, like in our reality. So basically, it's kind of like the idea that there might be parallel universes or, time travel. Like, it gets a little, like, strange. But it's very interesting. Like, whether it's, like, a real belief you have or whatever, it is very interesting to find and to come across some of these Mandela effects that occur. At least to me, I think it's very interesting. So I thought we could discuss some, especially some of the most popular ones. I did post on my Facebook earlier today asking people what their what their most popular, like their most favorite, or the most compelling examples of the Mandela effect, like what they were for them. So I got a few answers, and then I thought I'd kind of talk about my ones that I like that really affect me, and that like delve into like stuff that I have experienced, or whatever. But okay, so if my phone buzzes or anything, I'm really sorry. Somebody's messaging me. So sorry that. Yeah, a lot of people do use Twitter, and actually I have a Twitter, so you can definitely follow me there. I just don't have as many people that respond to me on my Twitter yet, I should say. If you guys like me and want to follow me on Twitter, please feel free. It's at ASU Berlin. So you can definitely follow me there, and then I'll post these questions on there. And you could like just say hi sometimes if you want. But don't at me, bro. Just kidding. I mean, I guess you can. I don't know. But yeah, so I posted on Facebook, and that's just because I knew I'd get a bigger response faster, because I was a little slow. Like I said today, I didn't realize, really have an idea of what I wanted to talk about. So I posted it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I got some responses though, and it kind of got me thinking about people recalled ones that I had heard that I have the same experience with. So yeah, I thought that was cool. So let's see. So the first one that somebody posted about, which I think is the one that, aside from Mandela dying in prison, but not really dying in prison, I think that's, the one that coined the name Mandela Effect. That was, the first one that people were like, what the heck? I remember this happening, and it didn't, and so weird. The first one that somebody mentioned is, the biggest one for me, because I grew up reading the books. I watched a few of the movies, the TV shows, but not too much. We were readers in my house. We watched a lot of TV, but just big book. My mom would just buy books all the time for us. So, anyway, it's the Berenstain Bears. That one really trips me out, because how I remember it being spelled, and reading it, and, reading the author's name and everything on it, the author's names, I should say, is the Berenstein. Bears. But clearly that's very wrong, because apparently it's always been spelled Berestain. And that just blew my mind the first time I heard that, read that. I was like, no way, that's not how that is. That's not how that goes. That's not how it's spelled. So yeah, that one threw me off. So then that kind of started my kick into this whole thing. I heard about it a couple years ago. It was really big. I don't know, several years ago now. Because I'm getting old. It was a very popular Mandela Effect. So if you hadn't heard of that one, it might be because you're young and you don't really care. You're young and you didn't read the Berenstain Bears, or maybe they were after your time, so you didn't really read them. I don't know. I feel like it's very specific to the millennials. Just kidding. Just had to say it. Um, but yeah, so that's the first one that got me into this. So the next one that somebody had mentioned was uh, that the Monopoly man never wore a monocle, and I've heard this one too. And actually, like when I first heard it, I thought it wasn't like I was like, no, that's weird. He's always had one. And I've also heard people say like maybe it's because the Pringles guy on the Pringles can looks like the Monopoly guy, and he wears a monocle. And then it could also be because in the movie Ace Ventura, he calls this man who has a monocle like he mocks the Monopoly man. Um, Mocks him by calling him the Monopoly man, I should say. So that one is very interesting to me because I thought I remembered it, but that could be like a thing where it's like my memory could be foggy and it could be influenced by other things in the media that I've seen, which is where some people are like, that's like the argument to the Mandela effect is just like, it's a counter, it's you're just literally, like, you're just remembering parts of something else. So, I thought that one was interesting. I've heard it before. It's pretty cool. I don't know. What do you guys think so far? Like, I know, yeah. Yeah, I thought the Pringles man had a monocle. Does he? I don't know. Does he not? I don't remember. See, I'm like, I thought he did. Now I'm questioning everything. I should probably, look it up, but I'm not sure. Oh, that could be it. It's just like some kind of logo, I think. They had one, but now I'm very curious. Pringles guy. Oh no, he doesn't. What the heck? I thought the Pringles man had a monocle. Now my mind is literally blown. That's okay. I'm probably confusing him with whatever. What the heck? No, I probably got that confused with the same idea. The Monopoly guy and all that. Maybe the Planters Peanut guy, because he does wear a top. He wears a top hat and a monocle, right? Now I'm questioning everything. Planters Peanut guy. Oh, he does. So maybe that's where it is. Maybe that's the general confusion. He does. As far as this shows, he does in fact wear a monocle. So there's that. Um. So anyway, so continuing, like I wanted to continue down the list. So weird. Of course, there's some more popular ones too that are, and I feel like this one, I really feel like this one blew my mind as well. The Shazam movie where Sinbad played a genie, like that's, I kind of thought that was a thing growing up. Like I was convinced. I remember watching that movie. Like I do. I remembered it. It was like when I was really young, but I do remember it, or so I thought. But in all reality, it's actually there's actually a movie that Shaq was in, and it's called Kazam, and it's where he plays a genie. The only the only thing with Sinbad ever dressing like a genie is he was doing like some shorts before and like telling the story of Sinbad, I believe, and that's where he says like that comes from. Like he himself is like, I was never in this movie, but College Humor did recreate that to poke fun at all the Mandela Effect people, they recreated like the intro or the part where the kids meet, Shazam, the genie or whatever. So that was pretty cool. Maybe after I get off of here and once this uploads, I'll put that, like, a link to that video, because it's funny. It was really good. I gotta blow my nose. It's about that time. So, what do you guys, have you guys felt any of those, like, been experienced to any of those, or remember them differently? Apologies. It's gonna happen, as always. Do you have any other personal Mandela effects you like to really like talk about? Because I mean, I know quite a few of them, the like more popular ones, but Oh no, your mind is too shit to believe in the Mandela effect. That's unfortunate. I know. Yes, Lee does have a good time zone Mandela effect, a personal one. And I was gonna read that a little bit, but that one was really intriguing. Actually, we'll read that right now. So Lee, who comes in here every chat, he commented on my post on Facebook. And so this is all credit to Lee. This is his personal example, he said. I wanted to use a word, but it didn't come up. But this is a personal story of a time when he really got hit by the Mandela effect. So here it goes. When I was a journalist student back in the early 1970s, one of the assignments was to track how long it took for foreign news to appear in U.S. news reports. We were given a list of certain events to choose from. I chose to research a big protest/riot that had happened in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The New York Times had reported on it at a certain time on a certain day. I don't remember the exact day or time now, but as part of my research, I figured I should see if there was a time zone difference between the two cities. Well, there was no internet back then, so I went to the library and found the time zone map. I specifically remember verifying that New York and Rio were in the same time zone. On the map, Rio was almost directly below New York City. A couple of years ago, I looked at a world map and was blown away. South America is way to the east now, like the entire landmass shifted, and now Rio is in a different time zone, 1 hour ahead of New York time. And that's really crazy, because, like, to me, like, I wasn't, like, I can't say personally, because I didn't look at maps in that time, ever, but the fact, like, the whole, like, country, or city, or both, shifted an entire time zone is really kind of interesting. Especially if they were, like, close enough that they would be in the time zone. Because sometimes I know, like, people are like, oh, well, they changed how the time zones work. But if it was, like, on a map and it was directly under it, that is a really kind of, like, an interesting, intriguing example. It's very neat. Yeah, so, like, you have proof. I remember my professor complimented me for researching the time zone thing. So it's like, there were, like, it's just so weird. I feel like how our brains will, like how we know that this happened. Like, it's so you're so certain of it, but then it's like there's just in this reality, um, like this universe or whatever you want to believe in, um, it's just not there. Like it didn't happen. But it's like, but I distinctly remember it happening, which it's just so cool to me. Like I don't know, I don't know. We can't really explain it because it's all just memories, supposed false memories. Because in this time zone, like this reality line, I keep using time zone because now we read about time zones. This like path of reality is different from the one that we supposedly had those memories. Um, Oh, hi, Zolly. You got to make a chat, like, as it was happening. Um, so it's good to see you. Can't say you've experienced a Mandela effect. Well, that's cool, because, like, there's a lot of people that are like, I have. But, so it's like the people that remember everything as they are, like, right now. That's kind of, that's neat. Like, because it's like the people that out of that track, like off that track. You know what I'm trying to say, guys. I'm crazy. Can't get words. What are words? Uh, that it like the conflict happens, and I think that's kind of cool. There was one that I personally remembered about today. There was one that I remembered today. That like I had heard this effect before. I kind of forgot that it was a thing because whatever. But the Fruit of the Loom logo. Um, how do you guys picture the Fruit of the Loom logo? Like, what is it supposed to look like? Because I distinctly remember the Fruit of the Loom logo being fruit in a cornucopia. like I like that's what it is. Like it's in a cornucopia. But guess what? It's not. It's never been in a cornucopia. And that is one that like blows my mind. Yeah, and that's what it is. Like it is just a pile of assorted fruits. But there are people, like a lot of people, that remember it having like a cornucopia behind it. And, there are accounts of people being like, yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, what is this trumpet doing behind these fruit? Like, I don't understand. Um, but yeah, no, it's never been there. But I distinctly remember that as being a thing. So, let me tell yeah, weird. And Vaki says, I remember a pile of assorted fruits, which is what it is. Um, Zolly. I've experienced many family gatherings where members had wildly different memories of the same event and had very selective memories. That's really interesting because, like, does that mean half of your family is living in a parallel universe? It's an interesting thought. Even if it's like it's not something you totally believe in, like I said, our memories they can be very selective. The brain is just complex and wild. But the fact that like sometimes people can be so split and divided on certain things, it makes you wonder, you know? It's just very intriguing, at least to me. You can't once you sleep and wake up, you can't remember the whole day before. Is that like an everyday thing? Like an every night thing? Or is it just every so often or it only happened once? that reminds me of like the plot for 50 First Dates. But I imagine you know, it's not quite like that. But I know that there is like such a condition. I think it was a little exaggerated for that movie, but people do have memories kind of like that. Or no, I've heard of things, instances, I think, stories similar. It's rare, but how crazy would that be though? Oh, this nose. I'm sorry, guys. Ah! I told you, my nose is ridiculous. Okay, so what is the next one? Okay, this one I really do think it's interesting, and I'm not sure if it's necessarily like a Mandela effect so much as people just not being good with lyrics. Um, but like I distinctly remember this as well. It's the Mr. Rogers theme song, and the way I remember it being like I watched Mr. Rogers like every day when I was a kid. I really enjoyed Mr. Rogers. I was a PBS kid. Okay. um so it's supposedly the theme song goes, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood," or that's how I remember it. But it's actually written, "It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood." And I was just like, what? Like, no, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor, or whatever. But no, it's not it's this. And I was like, what? But that one I feel like is literally just sometimes people don't hear lyrics all the way. I mean, how many times do you listen to a song that you really like and then you're singing it out loud next to your friend and all of a sudden they're like, yo, those aren't the words, and you're like, yeah, they are. This is my favorite song. And they're like, no, no, you're totally wrong. Like, Google them, look up those lyrics. Um, yeah, so I kind of feel like it's kind of like one of those things where people might just have like heard it wrong. Um, yeah, uh, yeah, it's not it is this. So there you go. um, Zali, I think I discussed this before. I've had dreams. Oh, I didn't mean to read that like a Valley girl. Oh. I think I discussed this before. I've had dreams so vivid that they sometimes become or became like memories of an actual event. Yeah, I think I can relate to that a little bit. Like I can be a very vivid dreamer um as well. To the point where it's like I'll have these dreams and then I'll wake up and then I'll be like, were they actually happening? Like, did this person get like really upset with me? Did we have this argument? Did it happen? And then I have to like wake up and realize it didn't. I have a lot of dreams where it's like I'll dream of something, like and then I'll experience it in real life, like deja vu kind of things. Um, but then I'm wondering if that's just deja vu and did I actually dream that or what? Oh, I froze up a thing. Nope, there it goes. I was like, did it freeze? Hi, Cher. Welcome to the chat. Sorry if it gets a little laggy. Um, my phone may be dying. Please don't die on me. But, so yeah. Oh, sorry, I made it all pixely for a second. I'm really sorry, guys. Bye, Mr. Greedy. See you later. Thanks, share. I appreciate the like. I really do. Um, and I was, oh yeah, what Lee was saying. Yeah, sometimes Googling it isn't like good proof because, depending on when it is, like Google's history is based in the timeline of like whatever you're like Googling it. But, yeah, I don't know. So it's probably, it's probably just like, I don't know. Now I'm gonna get thinking too hard into this. Excuse me, guys. Um, like you can have like what if we're living in multiple timelines and like timelines shift all the time? So what if one day you do Google it and it says it's one way, and then you Google it another day and you're in another timeline and it says something different? Think that's kind of what happens. Like the effect is that it's like you changed or that somebody went back in time and changed it. So I don't know. It gets too it got a little deep, a little crazy, but it's true. Maybe you couldn't Google it because it will be in the timeline that's currently in, and it won't say what you wanted anyway, or you remembered, I should say. So let's see another one. Oh, this one is good too, and is a popular one. That in the original Disney movie of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Is it Snow White? Yeah. In the original movie, the cartoon, Disney's cartoon of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the wicked witch, like the evil witch, she says to the mirror, or as I remember it, as a lot of people do remember it, it's mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. But if you go back and you watch that now, she does not say mirror, mirror. She says magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. So that one's another one that a lot of people are like, well, what? Like, where did this come from then? Like, why mirror, mirror? Um, but I mean, maybe it's because when we were kids, and then like, it was probably on some TV show later on when they were like spoofing it, but whatever, like, because kids remember in like repetition, that we probably just assumed it was mirror, mirror. But I think it's not. Like, I don't know. If anything, it was probably spoofed somewhere and we got that. Or it was like, not spoofed, but parodied or whatever. Somewhere else. But I don't know. It's like so many people remember it as mirror, mirror. Where did that originate from then? So, but it's magic mirror. Um, share. Sure. Share? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. But, I stream. I try to stream every Friday. At least, once a week, every Friday. Sometimes it gets a little shifted based on what like my work week is and how busy, if I've got things going on. But yeah, typically every Friday, do a little streaming, have a little conversation flowing. It's nice. I really enjoy it. I think it's a good time. Oh, this nose. Okay, sure. Okay, I was thinking that. I was thinking like Sherwood, like the Sherwood Forest. Apologies for my nose again. Well, I'm glad you stopped in and you're checking us out. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody as always. I like to say every week, at least once a week. I know it kind of sounds phony, but it's really true. I like when people come in. I like the conversation. Um, so I appreciate it. It's very nice. It keeps me happy, keeps me going, gives me a little break after all working all week. I get to have like some conversation about whatever whatever I've been thinking about, whatever I've been looking into for the week, or just general discussion. So it's good. It's fun. Okay. Okay. So here's another example of the Mandela effect that a lot of people do. Oh, excuse me, my voice is dying. Another example of the Mandela effect that a lot of people remember distinctly being there is in the movie The Matrix, which it's just so funny that it happens to be in a movie that's about like world biggest simulation and all that fun stuff. The scene with Morpheus when he's talking to Neo and he's like, "What if I told you everything you know is a lie?" That line was never in the movie, but everybody remembers it. Like, I remember it. I was so excited. Like, I loved that movie for a while. I loved The Matrix. I had like this brief few months in my teenage years where I was obsessed with The Matrix. It didn't last long. I mean, I still like the movie. Um, I need to watch it again. I need to watch all three of them. I like number two. Um, but yeah. So The Matrix, they don't say that line though. Like it never is said in the movie. It's like it's crazy. um, or at least that's really crazy to me. Like it blew my mind. What are some more examples? Let's see. I have like this whole list. Maybe I'll try to link this list as well. At the end, so you guys can like just check it out. Like here's my source that I used for this list, other than my Facebook post. Like just the thing. Um, let's see. Bone stain bears. We already talked about that. Oh, another iconic one is. Oh yeah, Lee. This kind of goes along the same lines, but Lee just said Captain Kirk said he never said "beam me up, Scotty." Um, so yeah, that iconic line was never in Star Trek. Never. Um, but everybody remembers it. So where did it come from? um, like he never originally said that, which is crazy. Um, there's another one where it's not really the quote from Star Wars. He doesn't say, "Luke, I am your father." He says, "No, I am your father." Never says Luke. And everybody quotes it as Luke. I mean, there's an interview with the guy who plays Darth Vader in Star Wars, and he even misquotes himself and says, "Luke, I am your father." But it's never said in the movie. It just wasn't there. It's, "No, I am your father." So, there's that one. just let you think on it for a second. Just think about it. See if there's another good one. Oh yeah, there's like the quote, "I'll be back." Well, I that is a good quote. I feel like Unless something changes suddenly, that's definitely said in the Terminator movies. Like, I'll be back. Better be. If that's not, then I'll know that the Mandela Effect is for real. Yeah, like it could be. It's crazy. Um, the Luke, where is your father? Or where is your father? Luke, where's your father? That's actually what he said. Um, see? All right, Zali. So you are from one of the realities. Yeah, no, it's no. I am your father. It's so weird. Okay, so here's another Star Wars one that is strange. That C3PO isn't all gold. He's got a silver leg, okay? I didn't realize he did. I wasn't a huge Star Wars fan. I haven't watched a lot of them, but I've seen a few of them. Um, he has a red arm. Cause well, I know he's got a silver leg. Wait, does C3PO have a red arm? Oh. Oh, in the new movie, he has a red arm. But yeah, in like the original, like older ones, it was his leg was silver when he had like a gold arm or something. I don't know. See, I told you I didn't watch enough of them. But yeah, so that's fun. The new Halloween film. I haven't seen too many Halloweens, to be honest. Like I think I saw the original Halloween movie a few years ago. I would see the new Halloween film. I'm not a huge fan of slasher movies, but I really do like horror movies. So I would do it. I would go see it. It looks like it would be interesting, and it seems like it kind of sticks close to the more of the how the classic, like the first one, was. That's what I heard. It's supposed to be kind of more like that, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But I would see it. I would definitely go see it. Um, or wait till it came out. I probably wouldn't go see it in theaters. Did you know that Terminator is used as an astrological term that means the line that separates night from day on a planet? I did not know that. That's interesting. There's your word of the day, everyone. The Terminator. Sorry, I'm like reading this list. I'm like, what? Oscar Mayer. Meyer being spelled wrong, like differently. Oscar Mayer was like, if you think of the jingle, it's like my baloney has a first name. It's Oscar. My baloney has a second name. It's Meyer. Well, guess what? It's not Meyer. It's Mayer. That's crazy. Mayer. So there you go. I don't know if anybody has that. I mean, growing up, I always thought it was Meyer. Like, I feel like that one is a little crazy to me. Just a little. Not like super intense, but a little crazy. It's just so interesting. Like I said before, Myers with an S. That's from a reality I'm not quite in yet. But yeah, it's Mey or Mayer. That is Oscar Mayer. To me, that sounds like it should be Mayor, like like John Mayer. But it is not. That's how it goes. So weird. It's just so interesting. I like. There's so many examples of the Mandela effect, and it's just we could go on forever about it. Just because of different people's like where they were. Um, Oh, Michael Myers. Well, yes, that's a little different, but yeah, I think he spells it Myers maybe. I don't know. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, literally, there are so many examples of this because we don't know like where people's timelines pick up and where they left off and where they cross over. It's just like a crazy sort of thing. Um, and I love it. It's great. I'm definitely gonna link this source in the description because yeah, credit your sources. I'll try to find the College Humor um, link and put it down there. And I'm probably gonna end this for tonight because it's just a short stream. I don't have a lot going on, but it's been a week and I'm just tired, so I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna let this process, gonna pop it on up there. But if you guys really enjoy this, definitely subscribe to me because I try to do this every week. Um, if you want to follow me, uh, I'm on Twitter. It's twitter.com/ASU Berlin. I'm on Patreon. If you feel like, you want to help girl out, it's patreon.com/Berlin. Um, I'm on Instagram. I am on Instagram. I have an Instagram. Can you guys still hear me? um, so yeah, sorry if it's like getting laggy. This is when we crash out. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next week. Good night. Thank you for coming. Have a good weekend.